Okay, so once in a while, something really special happens, and Ralph and I, you and I have a special relationship. We've found some cool properties over the years.
Definitely. This is one of the finest I think we've done. It's kind of progressed from a small project to a larger project to this magnificent piece of property. We did a little work on this. It was a confusing deal. I remember when we first walked into it, I was looking at this as a development project. The lot was big enough. I said, hey, maybe we can tear it down and put 2 lots here. And then, of course, we found the historic aspect of the home, and we couldn't do that. But I kept coming back, and it's just something about this home actually grabbed me, and I said, man, it's like it hugged you, and it just felt good. I said, well, I got to go through with it. It just felt my gut feeling. Then we just came with a simple plan. Leave the original house the way it was, clean it up, made the windows larger, kept the original design. Every wall is pretty much where it was before inside that house. We removed one to open up the kitchen.
You started working on the vision and the ideas, and Wade Pipes was the original architect. I think back in 1954. This particular area up here was the original house. You had a vision, though, to take advantage of the whole lot. Tell me about the spaces you created.
We figured we might as well, you have to dig out for the foundation. The elevation scenario allowed us to drop another floor in beneath it. So we had to dig that out. And so we've got the lower level, and which matches the main house. So now it's balanced. I just wanted to make the house look like one unit.
So it's interesting, working with the historical department, the whole idea is we want to maintain the original elevation so people can celebrate that. But the property needed a 2024 home.
Definitely.
This is the original elevation right here, correct?
Correct.
Even right out to that angle there. And then you added on this space.
Yes.
And it's interesting because now it really flows. But they didn't want it to match perfectly, right?
Correct. They wanted a different architectural design on that unit to distinguish it from the main historical home.
So I know the hardscape was really important to you, and you wanted the views from the inside not to be impeded by the swimming pool. So tell me a little bit about the hardscape elevations and all the additional outdoor areas we have.
Well, originally, from the edge of the home had rock formations tearing it down to the main level. This was all grass. We didn't want to lose that. So we updated the rock levels, and we replaced it with these, and we were able to put a staircase in here because it didn't have one prior. So like I said, you don't want to have the view impaired by the pool. You know, we could have brought the pool up at the same height, but it just flowed better. Views are great, and also the lower level is not impeded by having a pool high up as well.
All right, now I remember when we were first discussing design, you wanted to go with the white stucco, and then it was trying to figure out the roof, and because of the roof lines, and you went with a really cool roof material.
Yes, you know, originally the design called for a cedar, real thin cedar roof, and today, you know, you don't really want combustional materials on it. So I found something that looked like the same material that was on there, but it's done in aluminum. It's going to maintain well.
It's got that tile look.
It's got the tile
look. Very clean. So people can visit you by car, and because you've got so much waterfront, this is very unusual, 270 feet, a party can pull up and
you can put a dozen boats out there.
A dozen boats can come up and visit.
That's on this side, not including the other side.
Yeah, that's very unusual.
It is.
And then you ended up creating this beautiful outdoor area. You enclosed the garden room. You added all this additional square foot inside. But then you've got fireplace, you've got doors here, indoor, outdoor living. You've got these 2 doors here that collapse and slide right into the wall. Another doorway here. So when we walk into this area, this is, you know, the last 2 homes that I've represented you always have these beautiful chairs, and they're swivel chairs.
Yep, this is the spot, man.
And so what I like about this is you can swivel, you can look out to the lake, you can look out to the outdoor space.
The atrium's right there. This is it seems to be the crowd favorite for people. This is where they sit. This is where you converse, and you just kind of get mesmerized by the lake. Every window has a nice vista, and we've decluttered the interior so that you can enjoy the outside. You're not seeing a lot of heavy ornate work in the home. It's all simple, so your eye isn't fighting it. It just flows, and you look outside, you see the greenery, and inside you got the beautiful wood. And I didn't even put door handles on the closets. I mean, it just pushes it. It looks like a piece of art.
So speaking of that, let's go out to the kitchen area real quick, and let's talk about the woodwork. So you've got cabinetry that there's no door handles. Everything's hidden. You don't see beautiful cabinetry. You see paint ready. You've got all of this. Can you tell me a little bit about the cabinetry? Who did the cabinetry?
Carrie's Cabinet Company did the cabinets. It's all select grain white rift oak. and they stained it right on spot. They didn't bring it in from the factory. Everything was stained on location. Like I said, people don't even know there's a closet behind that door. You're on the wrong side, see? You don't even know.
Don't even know. So I just pop
That's it.
and then I can open up the cabinet.
That's it.
It's amazing. And that's the same way that you did the elevator.
The elevator's the same way. It's just something less for your eye to see.
All right, so this is the original part of the house, the historical home. But tell me what you did to the kitchen and how you opened it up and created this large island.
Well, originally, you're standing where the wall was at for the original kitchen.
Okay.
That little area to your right there was the dining room, small little table. And it had tiny little windows in here. And so this was pretty much a small galley kitchen. And we took the wall out and we pushed the wall back in the atrium that gave us the dining room. So that wasn't there. That was a parallel with that wall that you're seeing right there. So we were able to push that out and design a dining room right into it without losing any particular space in the atrium. We just took the covered area and brought it in. So you can slide the doors, they totally disappear. You can be al fresco without being outside.
Yes.
So, and then the views, even sitting in there, you can see it straight through. So I made sure everything was clear for vision. And then this just opened this whole area up. And Chris, laid out a beautiful cabinet with a waterfall. The stone, this is a timeless piece of stone. It's like a piece of art. And that's why we put that piece there. We could have done the book match deal,
right.
But it's a piece of art in itself. Why mess with it?
Right, so you were able to find one large piece of stone.
You got a mirrored effect right here on the top here. Right. So it goes here and there, it matches perfect.
We're on the very west end of the lake.
Yes.
So we've got, I would say this is the longest west to east view lot on the whole lake.
Definitely is. You can't go any further back without being on the other side of the street.
It is truly one of the most special homes I've ever seen, and it's simple, and it's classic. And you say yourself, you've never felt this way. Like you've kind of emotionally become involved with this house, living here. It's hard to give up.
This has been a kind of a labor of love after you started it and you see it coming together. My dad always leave things better than you found them.
Yes.
I've been in Lake Oswego for many years, and this was an eyesore.
It was.
This was an eyesore.
Well, I remember when we bought it, the windows were broken out. Kids were kind of using the lot and the house as a little party house. Rarely do you see a house on the lake. It looks a little worn like it did.
One thing I noticed is that now that I'm in it and I've finished it, I'm glad that it retained this historic vibe.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been the same if I would have done something different with it.
Right.
It is, and so my wife says, Carmen, I think we did the right thing. Even if we could have torn it down and built another home, I don't think it would have the feeling this house has now. I got to pay homage to a lot of the things with the woodwork was homage to the original designer who built the home. The woodworks on the staircase, the woodwork around the edges, the whole living room. We did one wall completely woodwork with the fireplace. That was wood, originally wood. So we brought a lot of the things back. He had it right the first time.
Right.
And no steps, no flow, everything's smooth. You can see as you walked in, you didn't even have to transition. Everything's the same level.
You're a unique visionary. I mean, you love doing this. It's like I wouldn't call it a hobby, an inspiration. What would you call it?
Sometimes you just call it a calling. I just, not how many homes have we looked at together, you and I, but some of them just kind of resonate. And the house called me, and I kind of wish I was younger. I think I'd be doing this more. People say, hey, you should have been in this business. But you can do everything.
But I think there's a wisdom. I think the fact that you're doing it in this moment of your life, that has a lot to do with all of your experiences of where you've lived, the architecture, whether it be commercial architecture, or residences you've lived. You kind of tend to bring everything that your wish list all into one space.
Yeah, you learn from all those aspects. Even the commercial side, we learned a few things. And technically, this is like a commercial building. I mean, this is really quite a complex facility, and it has all the state-of-the-art goodies in it. So it's a combination of all those different experiences that I dealt with. And I've used the automotive stuff with certain touches and finishes and colors, So it's been a nice trip. It's been a nice long journey, and I'm enjoying it. I have a little bit more time, and I was able to. Actually, I didn't care what you have to finish it. They take a life on their own after you start them.
Right.
And it says, oh, but don't do this, don't do that. It says, you just gotta just finish them.
You also finished it pretty as far as time frame. You were here on the job. I mean, Skip O'Neill is an incredible legacy home builder, and at the same time, this job site moved quickly.
Yes, the architect and Skip, really, we worked together several times, so we know each other, and we were able to communicate and put things into action right away. Decisions were made quickly, and really, the build was rather quickly, but everything else was, it took me a year to get it to the point. And I really spend an excessive amount of time with the architect. And what I do, you know, like Kurt and I, we sat down and scrutinized every square inch for probably twice as long as most people do. Zero change orders, dude.
Sure.
So
Oh my
no
gosh.
change orders, everything is the way we designed it. I don't think there was one thing changed in motion. No, not one wall had to be moved. And that's rare when you're building a 7,500 square foot total facility.
Well, it's like a painting.
Yeah, it is. It is total work of art.
Well, Ralph Martinez, thank you for taking the time to join me. Thank you for, as usual, honored that you call on me to
Hey.
represent the property. We shared in the vision of the idea, and thanks for giving us a tour of the property.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Thank
All
you,
right.
buddy. Thank you.